All right. Today we're going to dig into something fascinating. This idea of being stuck on repeat. Why do we as people, and even as a whole society, get caught in these loops, these self-defeating patterns? We're going to explore a source that not only asks why this happens, but more importantly, how we can finally lift that needle off the record and play a completely new song. I mean, it's a super common feeling, isn't it? That little sense of déjà vu, but it's not just in your own life. You look out at the world, you turn on the news, and you see the same arguments, the same conflicts, the same cycles just playing out over and over and over. Well, the material we're looking at today argues that this isn't just a feeling, it's actually a reality that we're all creating together. So the central metaphor here is the broken record. And we all know what that means, right? We've all met someone who sounds like one, just repeating the same thing over and over. But what's really interesting is that this source takes that personal annoyance and just blows it up to a massive societal scale. And this quote just nails the core argument. The point is, it's not just one person who's stuck in a groove. The author suggests our entire world is just littered with these broken pieces. And all those fragments are creating this landscape of chaos that's keeping us all from moving forward. So, how does this broken record actually show up in the real world? First, the source gives us a diagnosis of where we're at right now. The material basically observes that we are living in a time of incredible division. This state of chaos isn't just external, in our politics and our media, it's also internal. It's this constant static both inside our heads and out in the world that makes finding any kind of real harmony feel, well, almost impossible. To make this idea of division really concrete, the source grounds it in a specific example, citing a report from ABC News. And the number's right here, 30,500. According to that report, this is the number of false or misleading statements former President Trump made during his presidency. Now, the source points to this as an example of a really crucial dynamic. The idea is that when certain ideas are repeated over and over, and this is regardless of whether they're fact-based or not, they can create these incredibly deep fractures in society. The source suggests that this is what can lead to a kind of uncivil war, where we can't even agree on a shared reality anymore. Okay, so we see the repetition out there in the world, but where does this tendency actually come from? The source argues the root cause isn't external at all. It's internal. It's all about our subconscious programming. And this is where things get really wild. Citing scientist Bruce Lipton, the source claims that a whopping 95% of our life is run not by our conscious thinking mind, but by our subconscious programs. Just 5% is our conscious mind. Think about that. We are on autopilot almost all of the time. And here's the kicker. These two minds operate in completely different ways. Your conscious mind is creative. It can read a book, have an aha moment, and decide to change right then and there. But the subconscious mind, that is a habit machine. It only learns through repetition, and critically, it's designed to resist change. That is why you can read a self-help book and feel totally inspired, but a week later, you're right back to your old habits. You only ever engaged 5% of your operating system. This powerful quote from Carl Jung just drives the point home perfectly. I mean, think about it. What we call bad luck or fate, those recurring struggles we have with relationships or money, is often just that unseen programming running our lives without us even knowing it. So if we're all running on this old, outdated software, how do we install and update it? The source actually outlines 3 specific methods from Bruce Lipton for getting into the subconscious and making a real change. Okay, so here are the 3 big ones. First up is hypnosis, which basically taps into that super receptive, sponge-like brain state we all had as young children. The second is habituation. This is like the brute force method. You just consciously repeat a new habit over and over again until it sticks. And the third is a newer field called energy psychology, which the source says uses mind-body techniques to create a super learning state, allowing you to rewrite deep-seated beliefs really fast. But this isn't just about reprogramming old beliefs. The source suggests there's a whole other reality we can tap into. It's less about fixing the broken record and more about tuning into a completely new frequency. So what is this new frequency? The source calls it the quantum field, and it's described as this invisible, underlying field of energy and information that connects absolutely everything. You can think of it as the realm of pure potential, where all the ideas and possibilities exist before they become physical reality. Now, this leads to a fascinating epiphany from Bruce Lipton that's mentioned in the text. He theorized that our trillions of cells literally have antennas on their surfaces that receive the broadcast of our consciousness from this quantum field. The implication of that is just huge. It means our true identity isn't contained inside our bodies. It's eternal, and it exists within this field. And that brings us right back to another quote from Jung. The message here is so clear. Chasing external solutions, looking for the answers out there, that's like being in a dream. True awakening and the ability to connect with this deeper reality is an inside job. It's all about shifting our awareness inward. So what does all this mean for us right now? Well, the source concludes with this really powerful metaphor, reframing this whole process as something we all have the natural ability to do. It suggests we think of ourselves as wizards, not in a fantasy magic wand kind of way, but in the sense that we have this powerful, innate ability to turn the lead of our old, negative programming into the gold of our true potential. We can consciously shift ourselves from darkness into light. And this is maybe the most profound takeaway from the entire source, the idea that we aren't just small, separate beings in the universe, we are the universe. We've just forgotten about our own creative power. So we'll leave you with this question on the slide. If you have this wizard's handbook, this power to write your own reality, what old, repetitive chapter are you finally ready to close for good? And what will you write on the very first page of the new one?